Hey guys. Okay, sit. All right, Alex is here. We're waiting on a few more people as we wait for more people to join. Last week we talked about how our hands move. And so, hey Grayson. So we're thinking about how does our hands, we thought about how our fingers move, and it was because of the muscle contracts, gets shorter, and pulls on your tendons, and your tendons pulls on your bones. But I want you to think, what tells your muscle to do that, to start that process? Hey, Kinsley. So I want y'all to think, what makes our muscles contract? Who is telling our muscles to contract? Don't say it out loud yet, but think. That's our thinking question right now. Hey, Chloe. And there's some hints behind me.
Yeah, behind.
So hopefully, okay. So hopefully you had a chance to check out the Mystery Science video that I assigned on your science Google Classroom this week. If you didn't, it's okay. Check it out after this. It's all about how your brain controls everything and processes everything. Okay?
It's this part.
And yes, I have my assistant today. Kinsley says hi, Michael.
Hi.
All right. So we got about 5 people in here. Maybe get a little bit more.
Yeah. And
so
this is my drawing.
Oh, that's very nice of you, Grayson. To video for Emily. Then you're gonna send it to her. Hey, Francis. And Lainey's on the phone with you. Okay, great. I'm glad Lainey. Tell Lainey that I'm glad that she can join us. And Memphis, yay! And Raquel, I'm so happy. Okay, Michael, no.
Okay.
All right. So those that just joining us, we're talking about building on what we did last week, where we talked about the muscles. Hey, Brennan. Hey, Francis. Okay, so last week we talked about how the muscles contract, get smaller, shorter, and because it gets shorter, it's pulling that tendon that's attached to it, and that tendon's attached to your fingers, your bones. And so when it pulls it, it's pulling that finger bone down. Okay?
Yep.
Hey, Dejan. Oh, I'm so glad you liked it. All right, so we're trying to figure out what is making that muscle contract. We don't know yet. That's what we're investigating. Okay, there's a hint behind us.
Yeah.
And Brendan says, Corbin said, hey. Hey, Corbin and Aiden. Hey, Aiden. All right. So, did anybody get a chance to check out the Mystery Science on their Google Classroom yet? Hey, Chloe Lassen. All right, bud. All right. So did anybody, some people have checked it out, some people hasn't. It's okay if you haven't, but it has some really cool things in there, and we're going to do one of the activities today. Okay. So we were talking about come stand right here, Michael.
Okay.
No, I said stand. All right. Remember what I told you to do. All right. So Michael is going to demonstrate something. Okay. I'm going to do it one time and then we'll talk about it. All right. So hold it. I guess. Oh, this way.
Okay.
All right. You ready?
That was weird.
So now he's going to drop it when I say go. And then I should be able to catch it right when he drops it because I'm seeing it drop. I know when it's going to drop. So I should be catching it right here. Hopefully. Let's see. All right, you ready?
Good.
Go. Up. I didn't catch it here. It took me 6 inches for me to catch it.
Okay.
So let's try it again. Maybe I need practice. You ready, Michael?
Right.
All right. So I'm going to try to catch it here. I'm telling him I'm going. I'm ready. So it should be able, I should be able to catch it right here. All right, ready, set, go. Didn't do it. It's back at 6 inches. So I'm wondering, why does it take so long for me to catch it, even though I know it's going to be dropped? I'm telling him to drop. So, why? Does anybody have any ideas why it takes me not right then to catch it?
I can't really. It's not very good.
It's okay.
Okay.
So they're thinking about, why does it take me that long, even though I know it's going to drop, for me to catch it?
Yeah.
Anybody have any ideas? Because you don't know when he's going to drop it. Well, I'm telling him to drop it. And we've practiced. So when I say drop it, he does drop it. Plus, I see him dropping it.
Yeah.
So I should, as soon as I see him drop it, I should be able to catch it.
Like this.
Yeah, just like that. Your brain does not work fast. So, Dejan, you're saying that it's not instant. Something is having to work. Something's having to do something. A process has to take place. Okay. Kinsley says, because your brain doesn't think fast enough, which causes your muscles to not bulge at the moment. Okay. So yes, it has something to do with your brain is not working instant speed. Okay, so that your brain has to send signals to take time to react. Yes. And Grayson, tell your sister happy birthday tomorrow. Okay. So, and that brings us to a good point. So Chloe Lassen said, we're talking about the nervous system today.
Yes.
All right.
Because,
so if you look behind us, step that way, Michael. Thank you. So if you look behind us, you have a brain. Your brain's up here. Your muscles aren't fast enough. That's right, Francis. So our muscles, they're not reacting fast enough. This is our brain. You already know our brain is what decides things. That's what does all the thinking. Our muscle does not do the thinking. Your organs do not do the thinking. All that stuff does not do the thinking. It's your brain that is doing everything. Now, when I look at the brain, so I just cut out a piece right here.
Yeah.
But this is what really the brain has with it. Now, there's a ton of things with the brain, okay? There's a ton. But now our brain really is not color-coded, but it's easier to see when it's color-coded. This is the cortex. These are the parts of the cortex, okay? So our cortex are things that we think about. So I can think about talking. I can make that decision. Am I going to talk or not talk? But I don't make the decision of things that I can't plan, like my heart beating. I can't say, you know what? I think I'm going to stop having my heartbeat. No, that doesn't work that way. Or breathing. Breathing, my body is an instinct to breathe, okay? Or the digestive system. Our digestive system does not work because I'm deciding it to work, okay? So Aiden says it takes time to move it because electric pulses have to generate, then have to go to the muscle to move. Yes, Aiden, so that's what we're getting to. So let's look at this brain. There's different parts, and these are just some of the parts. Now, this right here, that's called, I forgot what that's called. I'm going to have to look that up. That's what the brown part is. But that is not, I don't think that has something to do with the
Brain.
you deciding things to happen. Okay. What we're going to look at today is the primary motor cortex. That's about right here. Now, this is the front of the brain. What I'm talking about is like right about here. Okay. So, right here. And the primary somatosensory cortex. Michael, stop. That's about here. They're kind of close. Do you see? So, the motor cortex, the primary motor cortex, is what helps you actually move, not plan to move, but actually move. This part, the green part, is what tells you, oh, my eyes have visual information, my nose is smelling something. It works with your senses in order to get information. Okay, so this is your brain.
What is the pink part?
The pink part is the temporal lobe. That's where you're hearing, advanced visual processing. Okay, so that's where the information gets to, but it's deciding things right there. Okay, all right, so Aiden made mention something about electrical impulses. Okay, yes, when you send electricity, we already talked about how electricity will actually flow. It will start moving. No, we're not being silly. Actually moving. Okay. Silence, not fun. So, Chloe, you can't hear anything? Okay. Hopefully you can hear something. All right. So where is it traveling through? Where is that electricity traveling through? Because it is a type of electrical chemical type of things. Okay. It keeps stopping. I hope it, oh man. Hopefully it's not doing that like last week. Okay. So this is a very simple thing of how electricity goes through your body to the brain. Okay. So if you think of it like your hand, and you got these branches that come off of it, those are called the dendrites. So here's the dendrites. This is the fancy word axon. And this right here, they call it the soma. It's like that's where your DNA, your cells, your like all the things that has all the information for this neuron, what it's supposed to be doing is here. So what happens is all along in your body are these long wires called nerves. And they really look like this. Your dendrites, that's the little finger things this way. That's what receives the information. It says, oh, I just got hit by something, or a mosquito hit me. Okay. It does look kind of like a blood cell. Yeah. Okay. So dendrites are what it says, oh, I feel something. I'm getting information. And it sends that information through the axon, and your axon sends it to the brain. So what happens is if I hit his hand right here, pinch, the dendrites are receiving that information. This neuron can be as big, as long as your hand all the way to your brain. So this would be like super long. Hey, Jack. And or it could be short because it's going from your eyes to your brain. Okay. So if you're having trouble with the video, you can always go back to the video later and it should be working, hopefully. Okay. So those dendrites are saying, oh, something pinched me right here. And then it's sending that electrical impulse through here. And when it gets to the brain, there's an axon. That's this right here.
Axon.
And that's telling
Axon.
certain parts of your brain to make a decision. Okay?
Okay.
So that's what, once that brain says, hey, something hurts, let me move my hand. Now that part of the brain that says, hey, I'm going to move, it's going to send the motor nerves for your muscles to contract so that it can pull those tendons away. Pull those tendons that's pulling those bones away so it can say, oh, I don't want that. I don't want it to be pinched. Okay? So that's kind of it in like the very basic nutshell. Now, thank you, Dejan. I love it. All right. So going back to this neuron that's all in our nervous system, all throughout our entire body. My body only has a couple of them, but it is full of these wires. These neurons, really, when you are like 6 months old, there's not a lot of dendrites. There's not a lot of places for it to send out information and receive information. But as you get older and your brain starts learning, it says, oh, I feel something. Those dendrites and the axons start becoming this like spider web of connections. So that's why when you are 6 months old, you can't grasp a spoon very well, or you can't move your hand fast enough if something hurts. You know it hurts, but your brain's not processing faster. Now, when Michael did it, now Michael's 6, when he did the ruler thing and I dropped it, he grabbed more like 11 or 12. I grabbed more like at 6, just because my nerves, I have more nerves, more dendrites and axons in order for my brain to work faster. It could go faster. It can process what we just did faster. His does not have as much, and yours doesn't have as much as mine. So as you get older, that's why your processing gets faster. Okay? Any questions about the nervous system? Now, as you're thinking of a question for me, if you looked at the Mystery Science video, it has this activity and you try to get faster, okay? And you can do it with a dollar bill too. Does your brain have to do with why you were a baby, your head is so fragile? Well, it's because that's mainly because it doesn't have the muscles to keep the head up and support it. And your skull, when you're a baby, is not hard. It's very, very soft. So it's not protecting your brain enough. So you got to be very careful with a baby skull. Okay. Then when you're old, like 90s, why do you move slow? Well, because your body parts aren't working as well. They're tired. It's like an old computer. The wires don't connect as well as it used to. Blood cell is red. That's right. A blood cell's red, and even instead of it having like branches, a blood cell is round. So it could carry all the minerals and the vitamins. What happens to the nerves when you're sick? It depends on what kind of sick. If it's something that attacks these kind of nerves, then it might change something on how it's sending and receiving those electrical impulses.
Nah.
But it, like I said, it depends on how you're sick. It might be change how tired you are. Just like when you're 90, you're everything's tired. It's fighting things. Okay, so maybe what happens if you were sleeping? Okay, so some people I think it has something to do with your when you're sleeping, you kind of, your motor nerves don't work as well. because you're kind of paralyzed almost. I know that sounds weird, but you're paralyzed. And so your body can really rest. Okay. How's your brain know when to wake you up? That's a good point. I don't have a clear answer for that, to be honest, Kinsley. That would be something really cool to look up and then share with us next time we come in. Not sure why you're talking about LeBron James, Dejan. What if you got a part of your sunglasses in your forehead when you were 4? Would it damage your brain? By 4, your skull is pretty hard. You don't have the soft spots. You might have a scar. Okay. Who you saying stop to, Kinsley? Hopefully it's not me. What happens when you sleep, and how do you know how to wake up? So sleeping is still, we don't know everything that goes on when we're sleeping. But like I said, Memphis, sleeping, your body goes into like you're paralyzed basically a little bit because your body wants to rest and to get better. So I would have to look up about sleeping. Okay. About waking up. Sorry, I got distracted. Oh, Dejan, yeah. All right. So this week, guys, I want y'all to think as you're moving, as you're doing things, what your brain is actually doing and working together to get your different muscles in order to help you move. What happens when you get coronavirus? Well, when you get coronavirus, it's like a flu, okay? And so you feel, from what I've read, it's feels a lot like the flu, but only for a lot of people worse because we don't have the medicines yet that helps all the way. But it affects your breathing mainly. And your body's trying to fight it off. That's why you have a fever. And so we just don't have the medicine for it yet. They're working on it, but that's why we're trying to stay away and try to stay clean. And hopefully this will be done soon. Okay. Any other questions? Now, while you're thinking, next week we'll be working on, honestly, I don't really have a thing to work on. I don't have very much, I don't have something planned. So what would y'all want to discuss or learn about? I know we talked about how we want to do volcanoes, maybe something with earth science, or we talked about systems. Super volcanoes. Yeah, Kinsley, I'm choosing not to think about that yet because it would make me super sad if we don't go back. Okay, lava monsters. Could me burning my hand when I was wanting for my blood vessels and stuff. If it was burned bad enough, but at 1, your body pretty much mends itself pretty efficiently. So probably not, Grayson. Lava and ice monsters. Chloe Lassen, no, you will not have to repeat 4th grade. That's not true.
It isn't.
And Aiden,
It isn't.
They haven't told us anything about. No, Michael. They have not told us anything about when we're going back. So that's not true either. Okay, Michael is the best. He's just getting bored right now. Okay?
I'm bored out of my school.
Well, then go to your room. All right, so it's kind of a short science lesson. It's kind of a short science lesson, so I might put a few more things on Google Classroom. Just keep on checking it out. If you have some ideas, I would love to see what y'all are doing at home. I would love to see what you've done as far as maybe like the assignments we sent. No, you cannot have a house tour, Deja. And yes, Grayson, the LEAP test was canceled. So, but that doesn't mean that it's not important. Okay. But kind of before we meet next Wednesday for science, I want you all to kind of make sense of the nervous system, like what I have back here. And so, sorry, I got distracted. I'm not doing a house tour. So, back that way. So, I want y'all to try to find a way to map out your nervous system. How does your nervous system work in your body in order for you to work? Thank you, Deja. Okay. Anything else other than my house?
Active volcanoes.
Michael might do something with earth science. We'll see. I'll see what I assigned on Google Classroom and do something with that. All right, guys. So it was short and sweet. If y'all need to get a hold of me, then you can always send me a remind message through your parents. You can always send me an email. You can send me a private message on Google Classroom. I've mentioned back to y'all. My mom is a respiratory. Is that like the nurses that do the respiration machines? Kinsley. What do we do when we are bored? Grayson, you can read. You can design things. You can do that kind of stuff. Michael, stop. Okay. No, I don't have. Well, I have a fish, Dejan. I have a what's Michael's beta fish. She has patients with the virus. Well, Kinsley, tell your mom thank you. We appreciate it all, especially her being away from y'all. Did all of that already? Yes. All right, guys. We will see you next Monday at 11 o'clock for math. So hopefully maybe I'll do find something that's a little bit different. All right. And so bye. Miss y'all. Oh, I'm sorry, Raquel, that you're sick. I hope you start feeling better. All right. Bye.